Hi, I'm Mike, and in this segment I'm going to be taking you how to build the Magnum E1 foam version for your classes. The first part that we're going to work on today is our main wings. We've got 2 white plastic strips. And lastly, if you've got a 3rd to 5th grade class, in the package that your wings came in, you've got a set of yellow and white double-sided sticky tape that has cutouts that we can remove. Your 3rd to 5th grade classes can use those. If not, at your toolbox, you should have some double-sided sticky tape. Your younger kids are going to use this. This is going to be much easier for them to work with. To insert our wing supports, what we're going to do is we're going to separate our 2-sided sticky tape. Now the trick to this is to fold the tape over itself like this, pinch it, and slide backward firmly with your finger so that you can get the tape to separate into 2 pieces. So we're going to peel that apart like this and carefully lay it in the line that comes on our main wing right here. And then we're just going to peel the second layer of backing off. Once we've done that, all we need to do is take our plastic piece, insert it over the top, and then we're just going to run our finger down it, press it in to make sure it's secured in place. Now that we've got the supports attached to both of our main wings, we're going to take our fuselage and we're going to install 2-sided sticky tape on both sides of the bridge that support the wing here. So we've got the rectangular pieces out of our 2-sided sticky tape block. We're just going to attach these each, one to either side of this block, like this. Press it down firmly. Use a fingernail to remove the backing, making sure, of course, that the sticky tape has stayed on the bridge. And then our students are very carefully going to take and attach the wings. Now, once we've attached this wing, if we attempt to remove it, it's going to rip the foam and break it. So it's very important that you show your students which edge is the leading edge. In this case, the leading edge is the closest one to this plastic support piece. The leading edge wants to go forward toward where the metal tip and the propeller will be eventually. So we're going to attach the leading edge, and we want to make sure we don't overdo it here. We want to be right up to the middle so that there's still space for our second wing. I'm going to place it on, press it down firmly, squeeze it all around, and now our first wing is attached. Just like we did before. Now we're prepared to assemble the tail part of the fuselage into the main part. Before we actually insert this into the fuselage, what we're going to do is we're going to take this eccentric looking piece that has the 2 nubs on either end of 2-sided sticky tape, peel this back, and we want to stick it to the narrow side of the fuselage on either end. It doesn't matter which end, but we want it to be balanced over either side so we've got the same amount on the right and the left. Then we're going to wrap it around the corners, stick it into place, and now we're ready to move on to the next step. We're going to peel the backing off of this, making sure, of course, that our 2-sided sticky tape stays stuck to the fuselage. You want to tell the students to be patient with this so they don't rip the tape apart. We're going to take this white plastic piece that has the tail dragging part on it, this little point right here. We're going to attach this to the tail, making sure that the point is at the end of the fuselage right here. And it's just going to slide in there. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, so they're going to want to press it in real firmly. Once we've got this, we're going to insert the fuselage into the back of the front piece that we've already assembled. If this is not tight, go ahead and use some of your regular Scotch tape. Just wrap a little bit around the front and push it in, and that should be good. Now that we've finished assembling the fuselage, we're going to go ahead and attach the tail assembly to our kit. We're going to take this smaller rectangle that has the diagonal tip on it. We're going to attach this to the bottom of the white plastic tail here, and as you can see, the diagonal tip goes right there, so we can line that up. Attach it to our project. Peel the backing off of it, making sure the sticky tape is still there. And then we're going to attach our elevator. Now, on the elevator here in the center, we have a nice flat rectangle, which should help our students line this up. We want to ensure that our students don't attach this crooked. Once again, once we've attached this, if we try to pull it off, it's probably going to rip the foam and break a piece that we would have to replace. We're going to attach this, making sure it's not crooked either way, and it can actually bump right up against the triangle here as an anchor point. So that should be pretty easy to line up. We'll press it firmly into place. Next, we've got our rudder. Now when we attach the tape to hold on the plastic support piece here, we already got the two-sided sticky tape in place for our rudder. So all we need to do now is on the right side of the fuselage, when you're looking at it from the tail, we're going to stick the rudder flat up against the tail of the fuselage and stick it into place. Now that we've finished assembling the tail of our Magnum, we're prepared to attach the propeller and the landing gear. Now you may want to actually have your students wait to attach their propellers until they've done a couple of pre-flight tosses and trim this model out. The landing gear, we've got a small slot here behind the nose of the fuselage, and we're just going to stick the rectangle of the landing gear right into that slot, press it in firmly, and then it's ready to go. The propeller, when they're prepared to attach it, just sticks right onto the metal nose, just like that. Now that our Magnum is ready for pre-flight, I'm going to explain a couple of things about this model so that we can prepare it. When our model leaves our hands, sometimes it will do either a stall or a dive. A stall is what happens when we throw the model and the nose pitches up steeply, the model loses speed, and then tends to dive quickly toward the ground, or sometimes it might repeat this process. A dive is when the model leaves our hand and the nose pitches quickly toward the ground and it lands very quickly without accomplishing a long flight. What we want is a good glide path where our plane will maintain an attitude like this and fly straight for a long period of time. To accomplish this, we have some adjustable parts on the elevator that I'm going to teach you how to adjust. If our model stalls initially, what we're going to do is take a pair of scissors from our kit, and our students can do this, and we're going to trim tabs that we have right here. This way we can adjust this tab either up or down to trim our plane. If the plane is stalling, which means the nose is pitching up, what we want to do is turn this tab on both sides of the elevator down slightly like this. Then we'll try another toss. If it continues to stall, we'll make another adjustment a little bit further. But if our plane is diving, we're going to take these tabs and we're going to tip them up slightly in the back on both sides, and again attempt, and we want to keep tossing our plane by hand until we get a nice flat flight. By properly trimming the tabs on our elevator so that we achieve level flight, we can ensure that our plane flies properly from one flight to the next. So once we have our plane trimmed for flight properly, we're going to go ahead and install the batteries in the charger that it comes with. We're going to use 4 AA batteries. Now, the first time that our students charge their plane, we only want them to charge it for 30 to 45 seconds at the very most. You might need to teach them how to count for seconds so that they don't count too quickly. We're going to insert the charger into the receptacle at the bottom of the aircraft and charge it slowly, counting 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000. Now on this model, we also have just above that a small adjustable screw. What this screw enables us to do is adjust the amount of time this plane will spend in the air, because this plane is capable of flying very long distances. In your kit comes a very small gray screwdriver. You can use this to turn it to the left to increase your flight time, or turn it to the right to decrease the flight time. You want to start with these at the very minimal setting. This will fly more than far enough for most of our flight scenarios. Now, a very important aspect of this model is safety. This model flies at 15 to 25 miles an hour and can be totally dangerous to young students. We want to make sure that we only have 1 or 2 of these flying at a time with your classes. You want to be ensure that you're in total control of your class, that you know where your kids are, and that these planes are flying in a safe direction. I hope you enjoyed building your Magnum E1s and that you and your class enjoy your flight day. Just a reminder, for safety's sake, only allow 2 students to fly this model at once.